Hello everybody, this is Kirusho here. Now then, whenever we last left off, Deku, he had just revealed that he is the Ghost Rider to All Might and Toru. And well, All Might's a bit conflicted. On one hand, this kid is trying to be good. On the other, apparently he made a deal with the devil. After a bad day. A very bad day. So now he's in possession of some ancient being that possesses him. Now then, Deku, he would have just been going home, as he would just block himself off from everyone. He would just go to school, but he doesn't interact, and even whenever Toru does try talking with him, he just walks away. He's not sure how to feel about anything, and Toru's not sure what to do. Now then, Deku, he would head home. Now, as that's happening, this is whenever he smells something, and the writer does too. He would turn around to see that it's Toru. He would just ask exactly what is she doing following him. It's not safe. Well, it's never safe, is it, kid? You son of a bitch, Mephisto. Is that you in there? Why, yes. How'd you know? As Deku would immediately run up to him, saying to get out of there. Why? Little human companion. So easy to manipulate. So easy to control. As he would just bring her hand up, saying that, it's weird. You can't see this, but her hands, little fragile, don't you say? As Deku would get annoyed, the writer would immediately appear. As Mephisto would just say, there it is. Now, you're not doing your job. Well, I stopped doing my job whenever you tricked me. Besides, as the Ghost Rider turned back to Midoriya, saying, what do you want? Well, I've been trying to get into contact with you, but every time I get into a random thug, you just butcher me. All part of the job, isn't it? Well, you're certainly harder to find, though. Now, listen to me. There is a demon who escaped hell. He escaped punishment. Okay? So come up here and get him back yourself. Well, it's not that easy. I can't. If I leave the throne, many things will happen. Possibly even the end of the world. Are you serious? Quite so, young boy. Now, his name is Argarath. Find him and kill him. Or send him back. And how would I go about doing that? Simply, get on the bike and let the rider do the rest. As he would leave. Toru, she's somewhat trying to walk this off because she's lightheaded and very dizzy. As Deku would just ask her if she's okay. She would begin by questioning him, asking exactly why he keeps avoiding her. Why he's doing all what he's doing. He's been doing it for weeks. To which he would just say that he's been trying to find a good way to say this. It's not easy, Transforming. What do you mean? Do you ever wonder why my skull's on fire? Why I'm screaming whenever I transform? every part of my nervous system, my body, my heart, my lungs, every piece of it, even my brain, I'm pretty sure, all gets scorched and burned only to regrow, hours or days later. Besides, I never, well, the deal wasn't for this. The deal was for payback, not possession. I was tricked. So, what are you gonna do? I'm gonna try and fix that mistake. But for now, I have a job to do, as Deku would leave. She just loves standing there as she's trying to figure this all out. She just thinks that Deku's trying to find the coward's way out and just avoid his problems. But that's further from the case. Now, Deku, he would begin to ride. As in the night, people can see him. People can hear the familiar sound of the engine, revving its way up and tearing its way down the street. As he would walk into some dingy old bar. A lot of people are staring at him as he walks up directly to a man. The man would turn his head and stare directly at Deku. The man's eyes would widen as Deku would grab him by his shirt collar and smash him into the wall. This is whenever the bartender would immediately bring a gun up, saying for him to take that outside. Otherwise, that's not going to work in here. As Deku turns his head, staring directly at him. Now then, the man, he is pointing a shotgun directly at Deku's head, as he just tells him to put the guy down. He didn't do anything wrong, he's just enjoying a drink. Oh, quite the opposite. He's not even supposed to be here, as Deku turns his head. The man would just say that he's what? You know my rules. No innocent people. This man's not innocent. As Deku, he would just put the man's gun directly to his forehead, saying if he's gonna fire, fire now. See what happens. What happens could shock you. As the man would just say, no, I'm not taking a life. Well, sucks to be you. As Deku would just grab the gun away from him. And look at it. Well made. Interesting. As he decides to do one thing. He takes the gun with him as he carries the man outside. The man just keeps begging and screaming that he doesn't want to go back. He doesn't want to go back. As Deku gets the chain from his bike, telling him that that's not going to work. As the man began to try and run off, Deku would hop onto his bike and begin chasing after the man, as he wraps the chain around his legs and begins to drag him, as people are watching a demonic burst of energy. Now, as the portal opens, people just watch, as the man's trying to claw away, trying to get away, as the Ghost Rider's on the other side of what looks to be hell. The man just keeps scrambling away as the Ghost Rider would just pull him in and disappear. Everyone got this on video footage. The Ghost Rider, he's not human. Whatever he is an abomination. Now, the video doesn't just show the Ghost Rider, however. It shows that the man had horns and his skin was turning red. Now, Deku and the Ghost Rider would meet with Mephisto, as they would just hold up this sad sack excuse for a demon, saying that he was quite easy to capture. Well, that was quite a surprise. Expect you to kill him. Well, trying for something new. As Deku gets a Yugi ready, and immediately spits at Mephisto, saying if he doesn't like the job, give it to someone else. Mephisto, he would go to say something, but he quite simply just says that the kid's got some guts. Well, just know, I was gonna give you a little warning, but I'll just let you and the writer handle it. If you ever have that smell again, it's not human, it's demon. Now, you gotta be careful then. He can tell you more. So it's happening again. Again? Demons are trying to escape. So hasn't happened in quite a while. You're shitting me, aren't you? No, I'm not. Now, Deku would leave. As on the other side of the city, people would just watch as a portal opens in the air. And the Ghost Rider can be seen jumping out of it and smashing down into the bridge as he drives away. Now, a lot of the heroes and vigilantes, they've heard and seen him. However, tonight's a different case. There is a shootout at a store. And the cops cannot deal with it, and the heroes, the ones they have, aren't very good. This is whenever the roar of a motorcycle can be heard. People just watch as they can see the skull, and the men begin to just pray as they open fire on Deku. Deku would immediately just lash his chain outwards as he pulls in and actually grabs the man's gun, immediately just melting it and bending it into his hands as he walks over to the other one. He just stares down at them as he just does one thing. He just smashes them over the head and knocks them to the ground as he looks over to the cops. He then just walks away as the heroes try and question him and the cops try and detain him. As one of them actually does run up to him. They turn him around and try to detain him, but as soon as they do that, they shoot him in the face. They immediately go to freak out, but they would just watch as the Ghost Rider, he just moves his head back over to them and just brings his jaw upwards, bringing it back into place, freaking them the hell out as he rides off. Now, Deku, he works as a vigilante anti-hero for quite some time. While All Might, he's trying to coach Hakakure and trying to let Deku redeem his own name. Since the number one hero kinda went on the news live and said the Ghost Rider may not be a threat. He may be, well, trapped and or a pawn, which people wouldn't believe until they saw this demonic shit. Now then. Let us skip to around the entrance exam. Deku, he's managed to do as much work for Mephisto as possible, but well, that's to protect his own home. As people who have gone missing and or have been reported as to having no quirks suddenly manifest symptoms of fire, horns, or, well, demonic presence. Now then, with that is going to be where Deku, he would just see Toru, as these two are sitting next to each other. Deku, he just has his hand up, somewhat just facing away from her, as she tries to talk with him, asking him exactly what is he going to do, or how has he been, and where he has been. She's seen a lot of stuff on the news, and she wants to know exactly if he can clarify some of it. to which he's just not talking with her. She would finally get the point as she would just work on her test. She scores fairly well while Deku does, I want to say, score about pretty high. And we'll go over to the physical parts. Deku, he's a bit more inclined to use fire. The Ghost Rider has given him access to more and more of his power. And his flames are actually blue, but they are not the Hellfire equivalent yet. So, the Ghost Rider has steadily been increasing Deku's power output, basically allowing him access to only that portion, and if he needs to, he can let the Ghost Rider do his job. Basically, extreme prejudice and full force. Now, Deku, he's just wearing standardized boots and pants and a jacket, as many people are looking at him. He just gets annoyed as he just says that, well, he doesn't say anything. He just steps to the front of the line and gets ready. As Ida gets annoyed with him. He tries to talk and discipline him, but Deku just gives him the finger as he walks by, keeping it directly towards Ida's face as he completely passes by him. Now, with that happening, Deku begins to fight the robots. Whenever they begin, people would have watched Deku immediately launch off and smash into robots, as he begins scorching and burning everything in front of him. They would watch as he does one thing. Whenever he gets attacked by a three-pointer, he grabs it and tosses it to another one, as he begins to make somewhat of makeshift weapons, as you can call them, firing and, well, hitting them with fireballs, melting them immediately. As that's happening, Deku, he is getting quite a bit of points, as she's finding a good way to try and use one for all. She's been having trouble since it seems like her invisibility, it's been out of whack ever since she got it. Now, she would see the 0-pointer, as she thinks that that'll be a good try. Since she was too busy trying to talk with Deku, she doesn't know that it's 0 points. So she would run over to attack it. Now, Deku, he would see this, as he's just thinking that she's an idiot. Now, he would begin running over, as people would see him get faster, and his eyes are coursing with fire. This freaks people out a little, as Deku immediately charges in. He watches as whenever he does run over, she jumps up off the ground. This actually is somewhat making him fly backwards, as he asks the Ghost Rider for more of his power, seeing Toru actually in danger. The Ghost Rider would have agreed, as Deku can't even get off the ground. The force behind these shockwaves are throwing him back too much, which is whenever his skull would ignite with fire, and he begins to change. He doesn't care anymore. So, as that happens, he watches as the 0-pointer immediately just gets busted and goes flying to the ground. As soon as that happens, Toru would begin to fall as she sees Uraka. She's gonna get crushed by the robots. Now, before that can happen, Deku, he would come running over and throw the rubble aside as if it's nothing, as he picks her up and jumps upwards into the air. Holding out his other arm, he grabs Toru as he's able to somewhat do a flip, getting away from the destruction. She was not prepared for what just happened. Now, this is whenever Deku would land onto the ground, as he turns his head. People would be in shock as they begin shouting that it's the Ghost Rider. As Deku would set Uraka down. She's staring at him and she begins to somewhat, not fangirl, but she begins to somewhat be in shock, as Toru is just staring at Deku. No one can see her face, but she's clearly staring at him. Now, Deku, he just looks away as he unignites his skull, turning back as he walks off. People will just watch as he leaves. Wait, is that the Ghost Rider's son? No, wait, what? Now, Deku, he just walks off, as he immediately gets detained by the heroes. Now then, that is going to be where I leave this part off of, guys. I do hope you enjoyed the video, and have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next part.